Hey everyone, this is I want to read you a very familiar story, the Good Samaritan. I'm going to be in Luke 10:25 through 37, I think, in the King James Version of the Bible. I made an audio when I was doing the radio program in 2016 or so, and but I thought I'd follow it with a video so you'd have a choice, and it may be slightly different. But this says, "And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he said unto him, how readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, all thy soul, all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself." Um, all. Uh, he, if you do something with all, there's nothing left. That's committed. It's like taking a washcloth. I think I've used this example before, and squeezing all the water you can out of it. As long as you can get a drop out of that wet cloth, you haven't done all. So this is everything, every bit you got. And now Jesus had a an opportunity to declare what was the most important thing that we need to do. He could have said anything, strictness. He could have established anything he wanted to, but he wanted to establish this love and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right, this do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? The man was a attorney, a lawyer attorney. My brother that died back in August, he was an attorney for many years. And I know that they look for loopholes. Are you looking for a loophole? He said God is love. Not that God had love, not that God liked love, but God is love. Um, the rule to loving, to love is the same as the rule for forgiveness. You just love everybody and you just forgive everybody. You don't merely love people that love you. You love those that don't love you. You don't just forgive the people that forgive you. You forgive even if they don't even ask you. You know, you may be saying, if you ask me, I'll forgive you. Well, that's not. They didn't even ask Jesus, and he said, Father, forgive them. You just love. It's an easy rule for me to remember. I told our church that I didn't like complicated things, and I told them about the rule for working. And it's work when there's a crowd, work when it's not a crowd, work when you feel good, work when you don't feel good. That's easy for me to remember. I had my arm in a sling. I had surgery done on my shoulder, and I was in a sling for 6 weeks. But when I came out to church, I worked, preached, did just like as much like I could. Uh, it was my right arm. I had to learn to eat with my left hand, which is very difficult sleeping. But my first goal in eating with my left hand was not to stick it in my ear. And when I got past that, we did pretty good. And so who is my neighbor? And Jesus answering, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. It could have been any man. It could have been you. It could have been me. Or it could have been anyone. He said, went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. Now, Jerusalem was a place of commerce. And Jericho was a cursed city. You know, Joshua said, Cursed be the man that rebuildeth Jericho. That was a known place for thieves, that they would hide behind those curves and pounce on people, unsuspecting people. And a man would have to be silly to go down that road. They had been told many times. I think about the roads that I have told our people not to go down. Like not coming to church, I say don't go down that road because it's a dangerous road. But you know, people say they think they know what they're doing. Yeah, I know it's dangerous. I guess that man on the road from Jerusalem, Jericho said, yeah, I know it's dangerous. They telling me it's dangerous, but they just don't know what I know. And that's the same way spiritually. Yeah, I know, but Brother Dale just don't know. I know just how many times I can come to church. No, you don't. I know just how many times I can come and not come. Many of people thought they could beat the system and do that, but we have warned people. You know, get off my back, Brother Dale. I come to church if I don't have to mow my yard on Saturday night, or I'm about to go to watch the Alabama football game. Yeah, I come to church, and so he fell among thieves. Fell. Uh, if you start going down, he went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. If you start going down, eventually you're going to fall. That commercial says, "Help! I'm falling. I can't get up." And you're going to need somebody to help you when you fall. And you've been warned. Don't go down there. You're going to fall. And he fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed him, leaving him half dead. Don't let the enemy strip you. Don't let him take the smile off your face. Don't let him strip you and stoop your shoulders over. And he stripped him. God don't want anything stripped. That's why he gave fur to animals and feathers to birds and scales to fish. It's not his intention or will that anything be stripped that he has made. And they departed him and departed, leaving him half dead. We concentrate on that part, about the half dead part. It's no sense helping him. He's half dead. Well, bless the Lord. If he's half dead, to me, that means he's half alive. Let's concentrate on that part. I just want you to do for my family what I would do for your family. And so let's see and it said by chance there came down a certain priest that way. I don't believe it was by chance. I believe God sent him down there. A priest. And when he saw him, he just passed by on the other side. He just looked over there at him and just went on. So I wonder what the priest preached that night. Did he preach about helping people, charity, love, any of those things? He must not have. And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. You know, I imagine when I started this off, you thought, well, come on, Brother Dale. I've heard this preached all my life. Well, just hang on. If you don't use it this time, put it in your pocket. Maybe you can next time. But this next man was a Levite. He, you know, the Levites, they had the ministry, the priesthood, Moses, Aaron, and those. He, of all people, a Jew, should have seen about this other man, which was a Jew. But he passed him by. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him. A Samaritan, the least likely person to help this poor man. A Samaritan, he's you know, the Gentiles don't like him. The Jews don't like him. But this was the man, the most unlikely candidate that helped the man. And he went to him and he bound up his wounds. That's the next thing. He went to him. You know, you see people that's mishandled things, that's done things they shouldn't have done, made mistakes, and you say, well, if they come to me being a minister, if I said, if they come to me, I will help them. But you can't, sometimes they're too weak to come to you. You have to come to them. He came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. There you go. You got to have compassion on somebody. You not only have to have sympathy, you have to have empathy. You not only have to feel sorry for the person, but you have to say, what if that was me? He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in the oil and wine, and set it. And he set him on his own beast and brought him to an inn and took care of him. There's the next thing. He went to him. And can you imagine this? Can you picture this man, this Samaritan? He's on his beast. He's up here, and he sees the man. down here. To get to the man to help him, he has to get off his high horse. Can we not get off our high horse to help our fellow child of God or somebody that's in need? And then he got down on that man's level. He got off his horse, got down on that man's level. Now we're looking eye to eye instead of him looking down on the man. And didn't he say that if let each esteem others better than themselves? If I esteem you better than me and you esteem me better than you, then we're going to look eye to eye. And I just see so much in this. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, he that showeth mercy on him. And then said Jesus unto him, go and do likewise. We used to live on Fairfax Street in Huntsville, and Brother Harold Simmons lived next door to us. And he died, and then we had 2 more people that lived next door to us. So they moved. So when they moved, that didn't take away the responsibility that they was not my neighbor anymore. If I left for the house for a little while, I have a son and I've got a daughter 2 years younger. If I went to told them I was going to go off, and they said okay, and I told my son, I want you to mow the grass, I want you to rake the leaves, whatever I gave him to do. And then I told my daughter to dust, vacuum, or whatever for her to do. And when I came home, they met me at the door real proud of themselves, and they said, Dad, we did those things. We mowed the yard, and he said he did all his other things, and my daughter told me she did all that she was supposed to do. And I said, boy, I am so proud of y'all. And then I look up and I see her, and she's got a place on her cheek. And I say, you and your brother, y'all didn't get into it while I was gone, did you? And they said, yeah. Well, all that they did, I'm not happy now, because I want them to love each other. God wants his children to love one another. He wants his children to treat each other right. He don't want them to mistreat each other. And if we can be as strict as we want to and do as good as we want to, but then if we don't love each other, then God's not going to be pleased with us. I was thinking about when my children were little, they didn't have all these things that they have now, cell phones and such, and they did have Sesame Street and electric company and that kind of thing. And I saw a little cartoon once, and it was a man that was up on a hill, and he says to himself, I want to go there, and I am here, and I want to go there. So he sees a man down in the valley, so he runs down there. He gets to the man. He said, oh, I'm finally here. I'm there. And the man in the valley said, no, you're here. And he said, well, where is there? He said, see that hill where you just come from? That's there. So you never get there. You're always here. And so the people, they think they're going to turn their life around when they get 18. Oh, no, wait till I'm 21. Oh, I got to have a family. Wait till we have the first child. Wait till we get us a house. Wait till we get our house nearly paid for. You're never there. When I used to go to work in Huntsville, if I started off down in the first light I came to, if it was red, I didn't turn around and go back home. You just have to go a little bit at a time. So maybe I'll make another video pretty soon. I've enjoyed doing this for you. I hope you got something out of it, and may you be doing well till the next time I make another video or we see each other. May God bless you.